Hello, traders. This is Dave from Compass Options Live Trading Room, and I'm getting around to doing the Periscope video. It says weekly, but I haven't done it in a while. Of course, I was on vacation last week. Went to Iceland for about 8 days, which was quite an extraordinary, beautiful trip. Stunningly beautiful country. Lots of mountains, glaciers, and lava fields. Are really one of the most spectacular place I've ever seen. The beauty is just breathtaking. So if you ever get a chance to go to Iceland, please do it. You'll be shocked at how beautiful it is, and you'll be happy that you did. So anyway, I just want to do a video, a quick video, a recap of last June and a little bit of July. So let's move ahead here. Again, all signals and trading opportunities we provide are for educational and demonstration purposes only. Trading is very risky, so you should never trade with more money than you can afford to lose. And neither myself or Right Line Trading are licensed financial advisors, so we won't be giving any financial advice. All right, so these are the May trades. I've still got the May trades out here. We had May 37 wins, 7 losses, 85% win rate. April 35 wins, 5 losses, 89% win rate. There's most of the trades for May, not all, but most. And we had some good ones. We had this 40% on this Microsoft weekly ATM. We had 46% in this Twillo. We had a big loss on Twillo here when we got some news that went against us. And we lost on Alta when some news went against us. But all in all, it was a pretty good month. And we'll move ahead here. But that was just a breakdown of the May trades. Here are the June trades. And again, this is most of the June trades. Again, we had in June 37 wins, 6 losses, 86% win rate. Pretty nice month. We had this big loss in NOC, which again was another news event that went against us, but we had 28% on this time spread for KMX, 41% on this time spread for Nike, 40% on this GameStop time spread. So we had some good time spreads, and we're going to have a lot more coming up now as we go into earnings season. The earnings season just started. Banks have reported, and we'll have a lot more tech companies coming on. We got Netflix tomorrow, and so we've got some big earnings coming up, and the market's having quite a big rally. Very bullish market. So this was our April, May, June win rate. Again, with maintaining 85 to 90% win rate month after month. Again, these are the July trades we've had so far, up through Tuesday. Monday, we closed them out on Tuesday. We had this nice Meta trade for 16% intraday, and then we made 40% on Meta, which we held overnight. That was a really nice trade. We had a 30% gain in Delta Airlines on time spread. We had a 33% gain on the time spread for UNH. Caterpillar, nice 20% gain on that we just closed out. Palantir, another 27% gain that we just closed out, and UPST, this was a really nice trade as well, 21%. So those are our trades so far in July. We've got a couple of trades on, 3 trades on right now, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 wins in a row in July. So this is some nice way to start the month. We have trades on Lyft and on NVIDIA that we put on today, and also NetApp and TAP. So those are the open trades we've got right now. So that's the recent July trades, kind of showing where we're going. It's moving along pretty nicely. 7 wins here. We're having a pretty decent month. I'll just leave this. We've gone over this each week that we do this, but this is basically how a weekly ATM works. We did the Microsoft one. You start by selling the current week's puts and buying puts further out. So we had puts from 5/12 that we sold, and then we bought the 7/21 protected puts. So this trade, of course, is over. But as you look through here, you can see that a week later we bought back the 5/12 puts, and we sold the 5/19 puts. So you just buy it back and sell the next week's, buy it back and sell the next week's. And on the 18th of May, we actually were able to buy back the previous week's puts, sell next week's puts, and then buy them right back again later that afternoon because it moved up so fast. And we ended up with a nice gain of about $223 a contract on the weekly ATM, which is basically just a strategy for selling premiums every week against a longer dated put that you have out in time. And I have a video on that. If you get a chance, look at the videos on my video library. There is one on weekly ATMs. All right, so here's our January through June. I just says May, but it's actually June. We had these are our win rates and our losses. And again, February was our only losing month. We had a 75% win rate, but we did lose some money that month. But generally speaking, we're staying around between 85 and 90% for the most part. You can see the number of trades we have is fairly consistent, somewhere in the low 40s usually. Just depends on how many good trades there are. This is the March through June 23rd. This is March through the end of June, actually. I updated this a little bit, but so we had March 37 wins, 6 losses, 86% win rate. April 35 wins, 5 losses, 87.5. May 41 and 6, 87.5. In June 37 and 6, 86% win rate. And again, here's what our profit would be on $2,000 invested in each one of the trades that we took. Nice. March was a nice one. April, we had a good win rate, but then went down, didn't get as much profit out of some of these trades. We had a couple of losers in there. May up to 7,600 and another 8,000 in June. So pretty consistent, about $30,000 in 4 months. All right, so let's talk, for anybody who's new, let's talk about what we look for high probability trade setups in the room. That's what we're looking for, high probability trade setups using the compass system and the dominator system. The compass system, if you should be aware, is a system that helps us track when institutions are in the trades, and the dominator system tells us when the market internals are in our favor. 2 separate things. So basically what we look for is we'd like to see the dominator signal have a signal for a buy or sell signal with a background color that aligns. That's on the Ninja platform. On the compass system, we want to have the compass system all green and blue or all red and yellow. Green and blue for longs, red and yellow for shorts. And again, that would be we have the modified Laguerre for the current time frame. This is our momentum indicator. We want that blue or green for bullish, red or yellow for bearish. And then we want the modified Laguerre for multi-time frame. Again, this is the momentum. We want that also to match the same direction. So we want both the current time frame and multi-time frame momentum indicators to match up on color. We want to be looking at Heikinatsu candles. And when we're trying to get into a stock, we're looking for a Heikinatsu reversal. Heikinatsu candles, again, I have a video on that. It tells you when a stock has confirmed a reversal by looking at a Heikinatsu candle instead of just regular candles. You can find the reversal on regular candles, but Heikinatsu makes it easier. Now, the key thing is we want to try to buy our position at support, sell at resistance. Support being such, and resistance being something like the VWAP by the 15 EMA or a dynamic compression zone. All of these kind of things. Some significant support or resistance level. That's where you want to buy or sell. And we want to obviously break out in the same direction as the stock's current trend. So we're only going to take stocks long that are bullish, and we're only going to take stocks short that are bearish, both on the 5-minute and the daily chart. The daily chart and the 5-minute chart need to align. So if you're going long a stock, the daily chart should also be bullish. If you're going short a stock, the daily chart should also be bearish. And we'd like to take a breakout in the same direction as the current market trend if there is a trend. If the market's bullish, such as it was today, we're typically going to focus on longs, because if you take a long when the market's strong, you're going to have a bigger edge than if you try to go short, because you're going against the market, so you don't have that tailwind. And again, we want to select stocks that have relative strength or weakness versus the SPY, not RSI, but stocks that have relative strength versus the SPY, or relative weakness versus the SPY. And the way you can find that easily is when the market is moving sideways or up, look for stocks that are red and going down. If the stocks market is going sideways or down, the SPY, look for stocks that are going up dramatically or going up fast. That's going to give you relative strength. That's how you find the stocks that have relative strength or relative weakness. Then you wait for those stocks to align on some sort of a support or resistance level and enter them from there. And again, if it may be a swing trade, the daily chart must match the trade direction as well. But it's really not just for swing trades. Any trade I take, the daily chart and the 5-minute chart need to align. If I'm going to go long a stock on a 5-minute chart, then like we did with Caterpillar, then the daily chart also has to be bullish, and that's really important. If you get a pop out of the box signal in the compass system, that adds conviction to the trade since it's coming out of compression. And again, the key thing here is having patience. Waiting for compression breaks, that's going to reduce your risk substantially. In other words, your entry that you take is really, really important. So that's kind of the highest probability trade setups that we look for. Again, there's a video on finding highest probability trade setups using the compass system, and another one with the compass and the dominator system together. All right, so let's just take a look at some charts for anybody who's new, what we look for. This is a daily chart here. This is the compass system. Here is current time frame momentum right here, a multi-time frame momentum right here. This is what's called the quant line, and this is a bias line, so a confirmation line. So I'm not going to go over all of the indicators here. There's a video on it, and we've done webinars and webinars on this, on all of these things. But here's you can see how ABBV is breaking out here. Everything is green, breaking out above resistance. You see the resistance level. This is a dynamic compression zone. Nice setup on ABBV. We took this ABBV, by the way. And here's ABBV on the my TC2000 chart. This is what I use for looking at the daily chart because it's easier for me to see all the different setups and all the different indicators. So here's ABBV here in a daily here. Here it is on TC2000. This line right here is called an algo resistance line, which I draw to try to match the algos because the algos use these. And as it breaks through right here, this algo resistance line, see it's coming out of this wedge right here, coming out of this algo resistance line. This is the 8 exponential moving average, the white line is bouncing off of that. That tells me I've got a really good setup here with quite a bit of room to the upside, all the way up here. So that's why we took this ABB trade. This is the SPY as of today. You can see how bullish this has become. It's very, very strong. It's been moving up since late March with a few pullbacks to near the 50-day moving average. But look where it is now. It's above all the moving averages. They're all sloping up. The market has gone from a year and a half of bearishness to right now it's bullish, and we're actually getting pretty close to the all-time high in the SPY. So it's pretty amazing that we've had such a reversal, but this has been a nice bullish run. We're in earnings season. That tends to be a bullish catalyst. Summertime can be pretty slow. I suspect it'll slow down in August, but right now it's running pretty nicely. All right, so here's a GDX setup. This was on a 5-minute chart, just so you can see how we find these trades. Here's a pop out of the box signal. This little green line right here is the 15 EMA. You see how it goes from red to green. It's telling us we're getting some buying. This goes from red to blue, telling us we're getting some buying. That's a good place to take an intraday trade right here on GDX, which was bullish on the daily. And you can see you can ride it right up this 15 EMA. Just stay in it until it starts to flatten out and then reverse, and you just get out right here. And you notice that the momentum line goes from green to yellow right here. So the institutions are in here buying, now they're backing off. Tesla, this is a Heikin-Ashi candles, just so you can see what Heikin-Ashi candles look like. Heikin-Ashi candles, in this case, have like a wick and a tail. And if it has a wick and a tail, and then it goes to a flat bottom candle like that. These are all flat bottom candles. Flat bottom candles on Heikin-Ashi candles are bullish. And the more you get with flat bottoms like this is a bullish trend, just moving up. You notice as long as the candlesticks have no tails on them, this is a bullish move. So when you go from a tail to a flat bottom, that's what's called a Heikin-Ashi bullish reversal. And again, I have a video on Heikin-Ashi candles and trading reversals, but that was a beautiful Tesla trade. Look at the green here on the board. And again, you get in this off this pop out of the box signal with a Heikin-Ashi reversal right there, and just ride it up. No reason to even consider getting out until you start to get the wick and the tail on the Heikin-Ashi candles. Everything's green. All right, so this is SPY. This is a SPY. Again, it's a little different setup. I'm using, this case, I've got the current time frame momentum right here. I want to see what the current time frame is. I got the Bollinger Band width, which is right here, which tells me when the bandwidths are expanding. Bandwidths expanding tells you that the stock is moving out of compression, either to the upside or the downside. And you can see here that we have a pop out of the box signal here. And these are Heikin-Ashi candles. See the flat top with a wick to a flat top. That's a Heikin edge reversal to the bearish side. You jump in the trade right here. The bandwidth's expanding. The compass system is giving you the yellows, which is bearish. So everything lines up. You jump in here, you write it down, and once it starts to flatten like this, then you can get out. Again, you're still red here, but you notice the candlesticks are getting smaller, and you don't really want to stay in here. It's losing momentum. You can see the bandwidths are getting narrow, which means you get compression taking place. So this is where you would get in here, you would get out here, a nice trade. Again, another SPY trade right here. Again, look at the compass system, look at your colors. Here's your current time frame momentum right here. See the blue, that's bullish. Yellow becomes bearish. You see how it went to bearish right here on this pop out of the box signal with the 15 sloping down. The pink line is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price. Stock breaks below the VWAP. You've got a nice pop out of the box signal telling you that we're breaking out of compression. The compass system goes to yellow on the current time frame. The multi-time frame is already red. You jump in right here and you just ride this thing down. And again, you can see once the candles start to get small like this, you're losing momentum to the downside, you would get out. Even though it's still red here, I wouldn't stay in here as you're getting these small candles. You take profits, and eventually it switches back to blue, and the trade's over. But the trade would be over for me right in here. And this QSR trade, this was a nice trade we had quite a long time ago. Again, popping out of this dynamic compression zone. The compass system goes from yellow to blue to green. Beautiful pop out of the box. We traded this on a 5-minute chart, and a daily chart, and intraday chart. So let me show you that. But this was a daily chart because again, we want the daily chart to align with the 5-minute chart. Here's the daily chart. Here's the 5-minute chart in QSR for that day. See the compression here. See the compass system giving you different colors. See how it goes to blue right here? Goes from red to blue. Institutions are coming in. It's got a pop out of the box signal right here. Now we get a yellow candle here, but that's just on that one red bar. But notice everything else is green, and we've got pop out of the box signals across the board here. So this is where you could get into that trade. If you wanted to wait, you could have waited until right here to get in because the stock is coming off the 15 EMA. Buy at support, sell at resistance. This is support, the 15 EMA. You're above the VWAP. You take a trade right here, and you ride this thing up, and you notice it just keeps moving up, keeps moving up. Everything's green, and you notice how it switches to yellow right here. You see how you're getting, the candlesticks are getting smaller, and then you go to red. This is your exit point. Right here, you've lost momentum in the trade. That's on QSR. And this is QSR on the dominator system so that you can see what we were looking at. We obviously had a bullish compass system, right? Daily green, nice move up here, everything green. 5-minute, nice trade on the 5-minute. It's very bullish, so we've got the compass bullish on the daily. We've got the compass bullish on the 5-minute. We've got the dominator. This is the 5-minute dominator on QSR right here. QSR, dark green background tells us that the stock is bullish. This multi-time frame trend is bullish. The indicators down here, this is the market internals for each one of the indexes, the 5 different indexes we track. But we knew that the stock was compressing here, and before this even shows a buy signal, I took this trade. Why did I take the trade before the buy signal? Because the compass system was telling me that we had a nice bullish setup on the compass system. Everything was a go, and we did not have any contradicting information on the dominator system. It wasn't giving us any sell signals. It was just mixed, telling us that the market internals were neutral, but the stock is bullish on the compass system. So this is where I would have got in. If you waited for confirmation on the dominator system, this is where you would get it, right here on this candlestick, on this buy signal. But I wouldn't wait. I would, out of this compression right here, no sell signal on the dominator, then it's bullish enough for me. And I'm in assuming that we're going to start getting some market internals in our favor, which we did. All right, and here's one more SPY chart. Again, we've got a breakdown here below. This is a 15 EMA. Dominator is giving us sell signals. We grab them right here, write it down, and again, once we start chopping around like this with all these tiny little candles, we get out. This is just basically a 3-candle trade to take profits as it gets flat. And ENPH was another nice short. This is a daily chart, and ENPH dynamic compression zone right here, shaded area. Dominator, compass system. Look at this. goes to red and yellow. We get red and yellow across the board here. Red, yellow, all the way up and down. So this is a stock trade you could have taken right here off of this dynamic compression zone break and stayed in it for a couple of days. We actually took it. We didn't stay in it that long, but again, it's still bullish all the way across here. Bearish, I'm sorry, all the way across here, and went down pretty nice, pretty big drop. This is a pretty violent stock, by the way, this ENPH, very difficult to trade. Tesla, another beautiful short in Tesla. Again, look at the compass system, look at the current time frame. Blue, bullish, but the stock is bearish. See, it's below the VWAP. It was red for the day. See how we get a yellow, goes from blue to yellow here? That's a indication that the institutions are starting to sell. Pop out of the box signal right here, breaking out of the 15, right off the 15 resistance level right there. That 15 line would be resistance. This would be your entry. You've got yellow and red across the board. You buy it here, and as it flattens out here, you could take profits if you wanted to, but it stayed red, so we stayed in it, and then we got another leg down here, and then it starts to chop around again. I think we get out right here. I don't think I stayed in through the rest of this because it was starting to meander around, but you notice it went blue here. This would definitely be an indication to get out of the trade. All right, so it's Tesla. This KHC, this was a nice one we had. We get a pop out of the box signal right here, breaking out of dynamic compression on the daily. We get in here. The next day it didn't do anything, but we stayed in the trade because you see how everything is set up on the compass system telling us that the institutions are buying. Institutions are buying, so we stay in. We got a gap up the next morning, took profits on KHC right on this big pop up. This was telling us what was likely to happen. The institutions are in there buying, but likely to get a price movement to the upside. And same thing with STZ to the downside. See how everything went red here. So we just traded that on an intraday trade. That's a daily chart there on STZ. UNH is another one. And again, I just want you to see the color changes here, how this went from blue, bullish. Even we wouldn't be trading this bullishly because we had yellow on one, blue on the other. But notice here, we on the daily chart, we went to yellow, yellow, and then all red. That is it's a short setup on UNH, and we took that overnight for a nice gain. DG, same thing. I think you're getting to see the point here. Everything went from blue to yellow and red right here on the 5-minute chart. You get a pop out of the box signal. It's bouncing off of the VWAP resistance level. You jump in right here, and you just ride it down. It stays red all the way across. You could have ridden it down all the way, probably beyond here, because you're getting some compression, but the stock is red the whole way. The selling continues from the institutions. All right, so those are the charts for anybody who's new. This just kind of gives you a recap of what we look for here with a compass dominator combo. If you've got a dominator system with a background it's green and a buy signal, and you've got a compass system that also is bullish, then you've got a high probability trade setup. On the bearish side, if the dominator background is red and it has a sell signal, and the compass system is red or yellow, then you've got a combination of dominator and compass system together, giving you a beautiful sell setup. This is a beautiful buy setup. When you have them both together, you can take larger sizes and you can stay in the trades longer. But this is very to be determined by what the market's doing. A day like today was actually pretty strong. This is on the 18th, Tuesday the 18th of July. The market was very strong, so you can tend to stay in the trades a little bit longer when that happens, or set your price targets a little higher than normal. But if the market is choppy, then you don't want to be trying to take large trades or staying in trades longer. But with the market trending and you've got one of these setups with the compass and dominator combo, you can take larger trade sizes. And I guess, again, the best entry levels for when dominator aligns is a bounce off the 15 EMA, or a bounce off the VWAP, or a bounce off of the pivot point that we have, or a breakout of dynamic compression, breakout of any compression. Any of those kind of support resistance levels would be levels that you would want to enter the trade. All right, and just to recap again, this is for anybody who's new. Our goals here in the Compass Options Room is to help members become consistently profitable traders under all market conditions. We just went through a 1.5-year bear market, and we had one losing month out of the 18 months because we learned to trade under all market conditions, and we want to find high probability trade setups. We also want to teach members the most effective use of the compass and dominator systems to help them find the highest probability trade setups. We want to educate members on identifying and trading the highest probability trade setups while being patient. This is really important. Patience is critical to becoming a successful trader. You've got to be able to sit on your hands when you don't have the market in your favor, or you don't have the compass system telling you that you've got institutions in there. You do not want to be trading when you just got retail traders in a trade. It's just you're just gonna get chopped up. It chops around and it's chaos. You don't want to be in there. And we want to accomplish these goals in a relatively low stress and disciplined environment. We have several different strategies that we use. Time spreads over earnings, weekly ATMs to harvest time decay each week. We do put credit spreads, and we also do debit spreads using weekly options, and we have a really effective way to do that, which gives us some nice wins. We trade straight puts, straight calls. So we have a lot of strategies to use, and we adjust those strategies to what the market conditions are. Right now, the market is going from neutral to bullish, so we have certain strategies that we use for that. But this is what the main goals of the room is that, and we have a lot of members, obviously, and we're trying to help educate everybody. We have a Discord room where we have 2 professional traders in there, also commenting during the day, answering questions, posting charts of high probability trades that they see. Really, really educational. We're meant to educate. We're not meant just to feed you trades and tell you what trades we're taking. I tell you what trades I'm taking. I point out trades sometimes that I'm not taking, but that are high probability trades in case of them. But we also is traders and help them be not be professional traders, but successful, consistently profitable traders. That's what our goal is. All right, and I'm not going to go over the recaps here. I think we've all seen this before, but you can look at that if you want. But it's 2022 performance, live trade rooms using the compass system only. When we first got the dominator system, again, we had an 89.4% win rate, profit factor 3.57, which is pretty high, 2.16 on all live trades, and then using the compass and dominator in combination, 96.7% win rate. This was pretty astronomical. I'm likely to be able to continue with that all the time, but we should be able to hit 90% when the compass and dominator system matches up. And the SPY super system, which we were beta testing at the time, which is matches up the compass system and the dominator system. When the compass system is giving us a buy on the SPY, it's green, it's coming off a support to the upside, for example, and the dominator system also is giving us a buy signal on the SPY that the market internals are strong. Then we took 100 trades, we had 86% win rate, 86 wins, 10 losses, 4 scratches, but we had a profit factor of 14.17. Notice the profit factor on this. We had a 96.7% win rate here, profit factor of 12.41. On this one, we have an 86% win rate, lower, but a higher profit factor because of the SPY systems. We tend to take fairly quick trades and we get out pretty quickly on the SPY because you don't have relative strength or relative weakness to use. You've got to trade just straight technicals and straight candlesticks on the SPY once you're in it. So anyway, that just kind of covers the performance. And this is something that I'm doing, put credit spreads. We'll just skip by that. Here's a post on doing debit spreads. I get a link to that. Again, you obviously, if you're in the room, you should have access to all my videos now. There's about 25 videos I've done on training. And Heikin-Ashi candles. And that's a post on Heikin-Ashi candles. I also have done a video on Heikin-Ashi candles. And there's the link to the Compass video library right there. And just stocks that I'm looking for. This is Tuesday night, looking for Wednesday. These are the longs that I'm looking at right now. We're actually in NVIDIA, looking at Uber, FTNT, Fortinet, Microsoft, and Capital One. Short, Kimberly KMB, RVNC, Xiamen, HOLX. So these would be ones I'd be looking at in the morning. And when you're going to take a trade like this, you want to trade with the market, if you can. And you're going to look for long entries to break over the previous day's high. with a high probability trade setup. And for short, you look for short entries to break below the previous day's low with a high probability trade setup, and try to take trades that are trading with the market. So if the market's bearish, you would want to try to look to the bearish stocks. If it's bullish, you want to look to the bullish stocks. All right, so that is the weekly Periscope for this week. Again, I hope everybody is doing well in the room. I know we've had a lot of people telling us how well they're doing, making good money on this. So I'm extremely gratified to hear that. And again, I'm glad to be back from vacation, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the room in the next morning, or at least the next day. I'm not sure when you'll get the video, but right after you get the video, we will be back in the room again on Wednesday morning and Thursday morning and Friday morning. So have a great week, everybody, and we'll see everybody soon.